And we're live.
Yo, peace to the fam. You already know who it is. It's the Hierophants Book Club. We're here with a nice little show tonight. So check us out. Go ahead, like and subscribe, share us. We your favorite book club. Like the people who host book club, we really their favorites. Anyway, so today we want to wrap with y'all and just talk about like I'm gonna ask y'all a question tonight. How many times have you seen yourself spreading yourself thin? You know what I'm saying? Like you could jump and answer it too, big dog. I'm answering, but it's just like let's have that talk.
Yeah. Also, I want to say welcome to Hierophants Build. It is March 12th, second night of Ramadan. The moon is in the first decan of Aries, which is the Two of Wands. So, what are you magnetizing? What are you pulling down from your intuition? But spreading yourself thin, the biggest problem with it is like it's almost like procrastination. You know, like when you feel like you got to be super busy, it's almost the same as doing nothing, because a lot of times when you are super busy, you get nothing done. Does that make sense? Or
Yeah,
I'm tripping?
no, that make a lot of sense. That's like you. That's like you trying to carry all the groceries in all at once, and then like knowing you finna drop something, but you got your knee holding up the milk somehow. But then
Yeah,
you know you got them grapes in your hand. You probably trying to snack on the grape, and then now you thinking, did I even prop the door open before I left the house and got these off the car? No,
yup.
because you was trying to do too much
Mm-hmm.
right off the
Doing too
muscle.
much.
And like my thing is like we was taught to spread ourselves thin. Like we went to school and you're learning 8 classes all in one day.
Yeah,
Homework from each one, and then if you don't, unless you finish it in class.
right, right. I remember hearing a quote like, "Why do teachers expect a child to learn like 7 subjects that you go to a whole bunch of different classes, like what English, math, science, gym, health, maybe music, um,
On me, your elective that you would pick type shit.
yeah, yeah, about 6, 7 classes, lunch, recess, um, sports. How could you expect a child to learn, that way when it's only one teacher? You get what I'm saying? Like you got
Mhm.
one math teacher, you got one science teacher, you got one English teacher, you know, but you expected to learn all these subjects instead of like learning one at a time, building on one at a time. But yeah, like for some reason, like the idea of like being busy is like, I don't know, it seemed like people like equate it to success in a certain way.
I got motion, bro. I got
Yeah,
motion.
yeah.
I'm in motion. And you know what's deep, man? Look, so right here, just I'm finna pull up a few things for y'all, but like think about that. Like we focus on having motion, but like I'm gonna be real with you. If you got motion, this is motion. If you got something going for yourself and you learning, you take your time with it, and then you making income, and you be able to go back and forth to those things. That is real motion. And then do we even know that? Why do we like take these? Like I'm part of the generation because I do it too. But why do we take these words and give it a whole new like definition and like meaning? Like no cap or cap. Like
Yeah.
people love saying, man, you capping. Like Like, damn, I can't wear a hat. Like, fuck. Like, what's your thought on that, dog? Like, what? Why is that a thing?
Like creation of words.
Yeah, like like basically like slang. Like that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it's a scientific term for creating words, but like, for lack of better words, like ebonics.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like, think of like people in New Orleans, and they get to talking and shit. Like, you low key can't understand those people, and they be speaking like broken Creole plus their accent and some English in there,
facts.
or even Jamaicans. They be speaking Irish and then English and probably like African languages too. But I don't know, man. Like, why how slang is created? I guess it's just spirit. Because I mean, words do have a vibration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I call you um if I call you Maximilian Goldberg or something like that, that sound like you got some bread. You know what I mean?
No
That
cap.
sound like you from a prestigious family or something. You know, or if I call you uh Bogard Iron Fist or something. You know that you probably beat somebody ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just like, and it's like basically like if you it's like going to like they say the nail shop, and you they basically speaking right in front of you. They speaking like they whole culture, and you don't even understand them, so you can't even take offense.
Hmm.
But what we hear like instantly, boom, something we know they saying, we taking offense. So it's pretty funny, but I mean that's just us with our triggers, you know.
I think another thing that comes to mind is the way we use language. We add we add to it. You know what I mean? Some kind of way, no matter like what people you are, what region you live in. It's like people got an urge to put their own spin on whatever they get a grasp for. You know what I mean?
100. Hey, you pull it up for me. That's below.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You good? So let me zoom in on it for y'all.
I'm just trying to see all the different. Scroll up a little bit.
Oh, that's the hold up. Sorry, that's the wrong one. I wanted to check this one. That explains why you couldn't see my phone. This one right here. So right here, it's just quick actual of the day, and it's just pretty simple, right? So we got this moon going into Aries, right? And we talking about having motion. And when we think about what controls Aries, is Mars. So most of the time, when we think about the actions in our lives and the actions that we are taking, it's very essential to like realize where you're trying to go. Because think about this, right, Breeze? Like check me if I sound wrong, bro. But would you be spreading yourself too thin if you had a goal and purpose, and you had to learn certain subtle things as you go, or you had to
Wait,
take certain?
say it one more time.
You good? I said so. For the if you was like, is check me if I'm wrong, but is it spreading yourself thin when you're like you have a goal and focus, or you're trying to learn something, or you have an end goal for something, and you're learning certain things. You have to do this and do that for A, B, and C. Basically, like school, you have your eight.
Yeah,
You have your 8 hours spanned up into certain things. Is that spreading yourself thin? Like what is that?
I think I think the biggest indicator of like spreading yourself thin is when you got
Yeah.
so much to do that you can't give your undivided attention to something in the moment because you're thinking of what's next to such a great degree you can't entirely focus on what's at hand. And I think when you spread yourself thin, it's just that, it's kind of like you ain't got
Yeah.
enough to give to whatever it is. You get what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
Uh what does definition say? It's almost like there's a part in the book, Becoming Supernatural, where it talks about when you have your energy in the past and the future, as opposed if you
Yes.
keep it in the now, you're a lot more powerful. So I mean, not with just tasks, you can be spreading yourself too thin emotionally, psychically.
Look at these words.
Cause it comes down to focus.
Gang
What's the
bang.
word? What's the
Gangbuster.
words?
Gangbuster.
What it say?
That motherfucker said gangbuster. I ain't even want to look that up. But run around spread. But you guys get the gist. I just pulled that up so you can see because sometimes like we don't understand certain phrases like snipping yourself from off at the nose. And most of the time you think you're doing something, but you're hurting yourself and that person. You know what I'm saying? If you mad at your partner, you go, I ain't just gonna talk to him. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Like you low key creating that you snipping yourself at the nose. You just hurting yourself. Because let me tell you something. Not making a move is a move. So when you think about how we just mentioned Mars, plan of action, right? Keep it simple. The actions you take, right?
Could
What
you
if
bring the
you?
chart back up?
Yeah, I got you. But with that, you got to think about the actions you take, and plus, it's like if you not even moving, if you just been stifled and just not making a move, I hope you know, like right there, you been making moves. You got motion. You got motion. If you ain't been acting on shot, I want to let you know you still got motion.
Yeah, it's not no such thing as no motion. Is yeah. um I mean, it's a such thing as no motion, but like that's not how the universe work. That's not how the essence of the universe work or how the mind works. It's always a flow. It's always a rhythm, and even if you think of music, like silence is just as important as sound in a song. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Facts. And then like think it is you just mentioned time. We just basically like lost time because of daylight savings. So now you're really spreading yourself thin because you think you don't got enough time. Ain't that crazy? But like you should be worried if you really worry about time. You need to think about like tracking like the stars with it, right? Because
hmm
like understanding like where the sun at. And I'm not talking about your chart. I don't like fuck the astrology real quick. Like let's because the goal and we explain this too, like for the Hierophants, and the goal for us is to eventually to be able to use the not to use these tools no more. Like people can get in the mindset and talk about, you know, you get caught up in labeling yourself in astrology or you overuse your tarot cards or you just been sitting on your altar all the time and just like inhaling the herbs and coughing them up and shit. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You fucked around, burnt your finger, trying to light the charcoal. You know what I'm saying, boy? So, end goal, what I'm saying is, it's like, you are the altar. You are the tarot cards. You are the astrology. But these tools are just here to help you understand certain things that your mind has lost. Because if I was to tell you that our brains was different back then in ancient times, they was more right brained than left brained. And what I mean by that, they was in their creative mind more. It's like they was connected to subconscious more instead of just always having this structural, gotta understand, have to know. You know, they say philosophy is good, but at the end of the day, it creates just non-endless, unquestionable answers or things like that, right? Or how am I saying that? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like I kind of
Yeah. Pull philosophy up.
I got you. Yeah, I was trying to pull up this article that talks about because I want to get into the reason why we yell meditate so much, because you're sitting there. When you're sitting there, you are vibrating faster. Your molecules are moving faster than when you're moving. So, and I just wanted to pull that up instead of just talking on my ass, because people gonna be like, I don't know, how you gonna tell me I'm moving faster sitting still? So I want to pull that up and just talk about our molecules, because ain't we mostly water, bro?
Yup.
So, and also, is there something you want to talk about the chart? Because I know you had me pull it up.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, just looking at it. It's like, it's almost like a race, because all the planets is like from Capricorn to Aries. You know, it's like success, psychic abilities, having a true confirmation that you are successful and have psychic abilities, because you're using those things for a specific purpose. In Pisces is a sign of leadership, so it's like you acquire your psychic abilities in Aquarius. You become successful from working so hard. You know, you work hard in Capricorn to build up your psychic abilities, and once you have your psychic abilities, then you're in that Christ mode, Pisces. You know, and then it starts all over again in Aries. But it's like, it's a continuation of Christ energy, because Aries energy is like, it's the Emperor card, it's power. You know what I mean? It's like, I've been here before and I was already Jesus, and now I'm back to do some more things. You know what I mean? Like, it's like literally Christ reincarnated. You know, Vishnu in another incarnation. You know, in Aries. But I think it's interesting, because if you think of it as a little race, you got Jupiter and Uranus about to conjunct in Aries, in the third decan of Aries, and that's like the Four of Wands, which is like, you know, straight like a true, like, a true situation that you willed together, like you solely made something happen, and it's bringing multiple parts of your life into it. You know what I mean? So it could be that you moving more in a direction where, like, what you do for work is also what you do for play. You know, and you can make money doing things that you truly love. It's also, you know, Jupiter being the planet of like expansion, gifts, wisdom, and then Uranus is a planet of like revolution, aeons, new shit, just new shit. You know, when you come dealing with Uranus, it's like, this is the age you in. You know what I mean? This is we wrapping this shit up. You know what I mean? Because we about to come with some hot, fresh, new shit, some stupid, fresh wisdom.
Okay, and then, and to like dive deeper on that too, like when we think about wisdom, man, since bro talked about the Emperor card, I want to go ahead and bring this up. So when we're thinking about the Emperor card, right, and
Aries.
we're setting that order, you got to understand. See, if you're spreading yourself too thin, this is a card that you want to work with. This Hebrew letter, because one, the Emperor, he has to make wise choices. Think about the Hebrew letter, right? Because that's going to give a deeper understanding to the card and make it simple. If most people don't know how to read cards or haven't even messed with a Thoth Tarot deck, or even understand simple astrology symbols, because you see Aries, and I'm gonna get a better picture zoom in on that for us. But Tazadi, the fish hook, right? One, when we think about a fish hook, right, we're throwing that mug into the water, right? So one, and then when we think about the water is our emotional side, also our deep subconscious self. So when we like go through that water, we're also searching through ourselves, our inner selves, right? And making wise choices and choosing what we do for ourselves. Because if I was to have you understand and make you realize that society is really just helping you search for yourself. It's like literally the act of meditation. If you want answers in your life and understanding yourself, you need to dive into those waters of divine. So meditate on this Hebrew letter, right? And breathe, bro. So it don't we always want to work with pairs, right? When we think about Hebrew letters,
You said pairs.
right? Like since we messing with society, what's the other half they got to work with?
Um. So the emperor. So it'll be justice or adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So it's making those proper adjustments, and an adjustment to be made is like getting into alignment. Um. Libra is the sign of like alignment, justice. Um. Almost like in a sense like perfection in a little bit of a way. Um. It's my yacht, you know what I mean? Lighthearted awareness, the absence of judgment, and if you have the absence of judgment, you have the absence of fear. Because if you're an emperor, how could you fear something? If you was a true emperor, you know what I mean? Like doing what
Mm-hmm.
emperors do, you don't have any fear. What is there to fear? I made the proper adjustment. Um, it's that responsibility part. It's the accountability part. You know, that's another thing about Libra energy. Is about accountability.
Mm-hmm. Knowing
Um,
which way them scales gonna swing, and being
yeah,
accountable for it.
yeah,
The choices are
and
like that scale.
hmm and the Hebrew letter is Lamed, um, which is basically the shepherd's staff, um, which just represents like discipline, which represents um, faith and piety, in your practices, whatever your practices is. Because your spiritual practices is what you use to adjust your energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The point of spiritual practices is to adjust yourself, to align yourself with your soul. Will align yourself with something that's greater than you. So like you said, we're dealing with pairs. The opposite of that is the emperor card. It's power. It's power in doing that. So I mean, I guess to answer the question, like spreading yourself thin, you gotta adjust. you know
Mm-hmm.
um and I love the pair of Aries and Libra, because in tropical astrology I was like, shit, I'm an Aries. So I spent a lot of time just reflecting on Aries. um but like what like, so Aries is power, and then Libra is responsibility. And that great saying, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you really not taking care of anything, what kind of power do you have, other than paying your bills? If once you take on a great responsibility, you'll get the power. But the thing is, people want to be powerful without the responsibilities, and that don't make sense. How you think you're gonna have power and you're not responsible for nothing?
Yeah, y'all wasn't listening to them superhero movies y'all was watching.
Yeah, man. Literally, them superheroes have responsibilities, Smokey. Hey,
Hey,
Batman didn't have a life because he had responsibilities, principalities.
man, and
Oh, we got to read that Bible verse about principalities and the princes of darkness. Man, that shit was kind of spooky. Oh, my bad. I'm kind of going off on the tangent, but that kind
no,
of
you get it's all leading up because I was just gonna say what you was going to, right? The thing about the emperor is that we have to understand that we have to control our sexual energy, right? That is the key because your sexual energy is going to help you manipulate the world around you. And when we think about how much our sexual energy is attacked,
yeah,
from parasitical entities, from the countless sex that is promoted today, um, most of your foods that you eat is causing testosterone in women and estrogen in males. Uh, it's just so many things that play a factor. So you you can might be a person who take care of their sexual health. That's great. Now the next step is awakening Kundalini. That is the really key. If you can raise your key, right, your key or your life force, or see if you was watching the movies and watching your anime, you realize you got chakra. If you a Naruto fan like me, you realize you got chakra, and your chakra is your semen, and your vital energy is in your body.
or
You know what
your
I'm saying?
menses, your menstrual blood for women.
Yeah. Again, and like we gotta get like some goddesses on the channel to talk about that, like, and
Yeah,
dive deep on it because I think it's something that's overlooked and it's some stuff you can really do that probably like blow your mind. You'd be like, so. But since we told you about these two pairs, right? And for the people who's like, how the fuck they figure that out? Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it easy. So each house, see if I can find it for you. All right, I'm gonna put it back on Big and Just. You know what I'm saying? The best chess player. Yeah, if you want to get good at chess, this is the card. These are the two cards. Uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up for us real quick, and I'm just gonna pull like up the beacon wheel, but just to explain it, to understand it, right here, I'm gonna do it like this, y'all. All right, y'all. So this one. This is a deacon wheel. So each deacon has a house, and when you think about each house represents a Hebrew letter. So you can think about Aries, right, which is the first house, and that Hebrew letter was Tazadi. And then when you think about um, the sect Taurus, you know what I'm saying? That's You got that's the Hierophant card, right? I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got Bob the nail, right? And then it's just that helps you understand it so simply. So you can look these up online. I just printed and laminated them. I was being a little lazy to pull them up, so I just had them all. I always have these next to me, just as a quick study, and then like just to be able to talk easier to y'all because uh, the main thing about being focused and having a study is going to help you prolong you on your journey. You know what homie said to me tonight when I was training. We was training, we was talking, and I was like, yeah, bro, like, and we were just talking about just ranking up because me, he's a little younger than me, and he was like, damn, bro, like it's been that long, you know, and I was just like, yes, it has been that long. Like, I'm like, but we just going along the journey to the ends. He goes, the journey don't stop, bro. What you mean? The journey never ends. So it's just like when we think about all these cycles that we constantly go over, like we have these cycles to help us navigate our life. And if we don't work with these cycles, we're going to be catching ourselves, spreading ourselves too thin. You know what I'm saying? If we don't do the tension work, if we don't do the journaling, if we don't do the group work, conversating with your team, if we don't try to find those simple things and build upon it, we'll just be stuck. You muted, bro.
I think a key thing to add what you said is all the stuff you mentioned, like journaling and stuff like that, and doing the root work and um, just your spiritual practices. It helps you get in tune with your rhythm. Your own cycles. You know, and you can understand like the progression of your life. When you get in alignment with those things, and I think the more you know about yourself, the less you will spread yourself thin.
Mm-hmm. You said the more you know about yourself, the less you throw yourself in.
Yeah.
Mm. And then
Cause
look,
like,
look.
go ahead.
I tell you, cut you off. Think about
Oh,
this.
you good?
Most of y'all be on your path, and then y'all get lost, and then you might forget who you are, or you forgot what you was becoming. But would you say that's a part of the journey, or would you just say that's you fucking
Forget.
out?
You said forgetting about who you are.
Yeah, like making that. Sometimes you on that journey and you like screw boom. You hit a little ditch or something, or you take a path where you have to go around something just to get back on track. Would you say that's a
Hmm.
part of the journey,
Hmm.
or would you say like that's just you like fucking up?
I would say it's all a part of the journey. Um, because it makes me think of like fate and destiny.
Mhm.
Like destiny is more of if I'm getting the words right, I'm looking at as destiny as something that goes beyond multiple lifetimes, and then fate is just kind of like, you know, you planned a trip for Jamaica, and it was like fate that you was gonna get on a plane.
Mhm. Mhm.
Whereas destiny is like you were meant to fulfill this particular purpose, on a soul level, and to go through these different lives, for whatever reason, you know what I mean? But those are reasons that we're supposed to figure out for ourselves. It's kind of like in the Matrix where the Oracle say like, you already made the choice. You just figuring out why you made the choice,
Mhm.
you know? So I think it only feel like it's almost like, nah, I don't want to say that. But it's just like the work, you know what I mean? The work you gotta do. Um, and it's not like everything you gotta do, but the work will help you understand each step. If you know your next step, then why fret? You know, why obsess over it? You know what you gotta do next. I mean, because sometimes when you look at like the coursework of a class, when you start a new class, you in college or high school, and you look at all the stuff you're gonna cover, you're like, damn. As opposed to if you take it day by day, I mean, you'll end up with something, you know. I feel like I went on a tangent a little bit.
No, you
But I
didn't.
mean, we still talking about spreading yourself thin and
Yeah, I'm like, trust me, bro. It's all together. It's just we wrapping our works into it. We teaching people about Tarot. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna pull up some more stuff because it's like family, tribe. Like when we be in front of y'all, like I know we talk, but we try to pull things up and we try to have information for you to study and look into, and for us to look into, because it's so easy to get on these platforms and just have someone talk to you and just say all this stuff and like not want to even show you a thing or even point you to a direction or even just discuss a little simple word, because that gives us wisdom. It gives me learning, it gives you learning. And if we just here just talking and just saying this and this and this and this and this, it won't even be no points in the video where you can actually go back and have like, okay, cool, like here's the part with that. Boom, we can go. Let's check out a comment. Yeah, man, when you take the step, you get the next step. But worrying about the very last step won't do you no good. It won't, because once you make that choice for that path, you're on it.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
unless you walk away from it, you're on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right, because all you really need is a little bit. Think about if think about all the money that you're going to have in your entire life. It's gonna be a million something, maybe close to 100 million. But could you imagine if you were given when you turn 18 all the money that you would ever see in your life? I wonder how people will react as opposed to you just living your life. You're not rich, but you're not fucked up. Maybe you had seasons, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, you'll be a different person. You'll be a different person, I think. Or you'll make different decisions. Um, if you knew the ending of it all, you know. But that's not to say that it won't end the way it's supposed to, the way that your soul intended for it to end. But like this is just getting too philosophical. um but could you read that Bible verse or bring it up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
The Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10 and 12 of the Geneva Bible or the King James Bible. That Geneva Bible one was kind of spooky.
Man, them boys had that code in there.
And the Geneva Bible predates the King James Bible by how many years? Let me see. I think the Geneva Bible came out in 1560, and the King James version in 1611. So
You
the
said
Geneva Bible,
1611?
yeah, King James Bible came out in 1611, and then the Geneva Bible came out in 1560. So it's a 50-year difference between the Geneva Bible and the King James version. Um, which is interesting.
And
This
for
is an
people
earlier
like
translation.
and for
What'd you
people
say?
like wondering like why all these new Bibles are made, one is serving the ruler and the monarch who had it at the time. Two, to fit the story that they are giving, and a lot of like deep things to it. A lot of people will say that, or scholars, or even in conscious community will say that most of the things that are in the Bible, the powers that be are making it happen. So you would think it's prophecy, but it's really people controlling certain steps to make it happen. It's like you've been tricked and given it the whole time. But at the same time, that is, they say it's universal law because they're telling you what they're doing to you. They're just, telling you in a way where like but you don't subconsciously. Well, let's read this verse. I thought I switched the version. This is right here, right?
Yeah, but go to the Geneva one.
Geneva, okay.
Man, I'm telling you, man, that Geneva one kind of spooky. Is it on there?
Right now, I'm probably to look it up.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah, they bogus. I don't know why they pulled up. All right, I'm trying to highlight it. So, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers and against those worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are high in places. For this cause, take this unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to resist this evil day, and have you finished all things, stand fast. So, what do you think, bro? What you decoding here? What you think?
So the spooky part I said is where it says the princes of darkness of this world. Like, damn, who's the princes of darkness? But it's more of a principle. These non-tangible things that people base their lives around, base their realities around. And the governors of the world has certain principles in which they run this planet, or how they think the planet should be ran, or could be ran. So it's not that we're dealing with men, we're dealing with our principles. What about your principles have you in the current position that you're in your life right now? Because you can talk about what's right and what's wrong all you want, but where you are in life is a result of the intangibles that you value, the principles that you value, the things that you say is like, this is everything that John Clayton is. John Clayton is this kind of person. John Clayton does this, but he doesn't do that. What kind of principles you stand on, and that can be, morally and spiritually. It could be centered around, being truthful. It can be centered around being disciplined. It could be centered around feeling that you could have leisure all your life. And the thing about principles is a very vast, it covers a lot. You get what I mean? Because a principle can be the vision of a corporation. What principles do you think the United States stand on? And why would they be doing certain things that they're doing today?
In God we trust.
In God we trust. But like, the whole world is like has been protesting um, the occupation of Palestine since um, since the beginning of 1900s, and the only country to support the occupation of Palestine is the United States. When you really think about it, if the United States stopped supporting it, it would be over in a heartbeat, you know. And it's almost like the occupation of Palestine is the fruit of America or the fruit of the United States. It would not exist. It would not be happening without the United States. What kind of principles do you think they stand on? You know, because we ain't gonna get into the history, but they done told you that they did certain things. You know what I mean, to these people that live here. You know, whether it's a truth or it's a lie. Like the audacity, you know, what kind of principles they stand on. You get what I mean? Like, or I mean, but you could just take it any kind of way. And I think like looping it back around to like, you know, what principles you stand on, you know, what adjustments do you feel that you need to make to align with principles that you want to align with? You
Facts.
know what I mean? Like how a samurai got his code, you know, that's his principle. Why do he do the shit that he do? But I'm gonna stop rambling.
Nah, you're not rambling, bro. It's just the truth to it because it's like you have to have one example to it, like a samurai. You know, because you have things to think about that within this. You're dealing with against principalities, against powers, against the worldly governments, right? So when we think about that, there's universal law within this, right? The fact of polarity, all right? So when there's a samurai, and then with the samurai you have a Ronin, you know, and like here I'm gonna pull up, but like, cause a Ronin is basically a samurai that's off his path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, he's gone rogue.
A samurai that doesn't have a master.
Yes, yes. So it's just like how many Ronins we have in the world, how many samurais we have in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
and how many Ronins actually still working with the principles? You know what I mean? Like, cause you can be a rogue Ronin, but you can also be like, you know, a Ronin that's actually holding it down. You know, after your master died, and you begin to open your dojo.
hmm yeah, we'll have to do some deep dives on that for the show,
For
man,
sure.
some stuff because or even after we get done introducing conversating with the devil, probably do like something like some lives or something, have a little passage from there,
Okay.
you know, or Sun Tzu. There's a lot of people, Confucius, just some Chinese philosophers, Japanese philosophers, talk about some samurai stuff, and then even like bring up some stuff with it. But yeah, man, I and like think about this part two of the verse. Take on to the whole armor of God, right? So if you was paying attention to our recent episodes of Genesis, right, you have to understand acting within divine law because that's another thing that this is talking into. And divine law is not like this holy moral thing. It is understanding the path you are taking, right? Because if you are not working with spirit, if you're not really on course, you're gonna be really like spreading yourself thin. Like that's just the truth. Because if you really don't have that one focus, because your one focus should have you leaning on one path. And one thing us men have to understand is that we work so hard in the day, but we gotta realize that we can't get everything done in one day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like a man with a mission instead of a man with a task is always going to be a person who won't get something. The man with the mission, right? Because what I'm trying to get at, the man with the mission is always going to be focused, ready. But the man with the task, he's just going to do what he has to do to get done. So it's like goal setting only do so much. You set your goals around your mission.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But for real, bro, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and cut it for real, man. We talked about a lot. Um, we got some things. Oh, and by the way, I think I didn't even tell y'all uh, when we was talking about just astrology earlier and trying to find out the opposite. So when I said the houses, each planet represents each house represents a tarot card or a Hebrew letter for that tarot card, but it's the opposite, right? So I just felt like I didn't say that. I just felt like I didn't say like the opposite of the
Oh,
house.
you mentioned it. You mentioned
Okay,
it.
okay. For some reason I just feel like I didn't say it. I feel like I just said it's just this and just left it alone. But yeah,
But yeah, that was just a quick build. It is now March 13th. The moon is still in Aries, or it's just getting into Aries. Excuse me.
yeah, it was like on
Just
the
getting into
cusp.
Aries.
It's still about Pisces.
So you got 2 of Wands energy, 3 of Wands energy, 4 of Wands energy, and the moon is going to pass by Jupiter and Uranus. So you know, maybe look into some esoterics. You know what I mean, and then think about your practices and think about how you can tear down and rebuild them. Think about how they can change for the better. um because the models for understanding is not the understanding. The understanding is understanding, and you can create new models constantly out of your understanding. um that, at least that's what I'm getting from the moon in Aries with Jupiter and Uranus. But till next time, Hierophants, you
Peace,
already know.
y'all. I appreciate y'all. Um, please like and subscribe and share. Check us out on the Instagram. It's right here below my name. Um, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Like and comment. Tell us what you want more of. Go check out my boy Breeze. Go look at
For
his
sure,
website.
for
He can
sure.
be bro.
And in the comments, Brandon J, bro, got the cookbook, being intentional in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
How to be an intentional chef, how to be, I mean, truly is alchemy. you know um check his information out. He in the chat. We repost some of his videos on the Hierophants Book Club page. Let's just keep the ball rolling, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.